Welcome back to another episode of Drink Tales. And today, we are still not drinking alcohol because it is still dry January. But we will be talking about a major component that goes into cocktails. And that thing is simple syrup.
And not all cocktails, but enough of them to where it's really important.
Right.
So as you guys can see here, we have store-bought simple syrup, and many mixologists will say that is a big no-no. And for the most part, they are right. And it basically comes down to what's in store-bought simple syrup.
So I guess the initial question would be, before you get into what's in store-bought simple syrup, what is simple syrup?
And basically, it's a sweetener for specific cocktails. Like, depending on what you're going for in your carving of a drink, as it were, or creation of a drink. Where did carving come from? In your creation, whatever you're going for in your creation of a drink, it will probably require a way of sweetening it. Which is where simple syrup comes in, and that usually is made up of syrup and water.
Right.
You put sugar in water. You put the sugar in the pot, you put the water in the pot, you heat it up, stir it until it becomes one.
I know, like, usually when people describe it, I think they say it's 2 parts.
2 parts sugar, 1 part water.
Right.
And that's if you want a rich simple syrup. But you can also do equal parts sugar and water. Like, it just depends on how sweet you want it, how thick you want it, and what that drink will require in regards to that type of syrup.
Right.
So some drinks may require a thick simple syrup, or a rich simple syrup if it's extra sweet or whatever. Now, a lot of the time, so here's the thing. There are variations on simple syrup, just like there are variations on anything in life, honestly.
Right.
You could do your basic simple syrup, which is just sugar and water. The rich simple syrup, syrup made with demerara sugar, so it will be a demerara simple syrup. You can do a simple syrup with brown sugar, and you can also flavor your simple syrups, and that goes into a whole big other rigmarole.
We've done several simple syrup flavors on this show.
We've done a lot, and I'm not gonna go over all of them because I can't remember right now. But basically, our ability to do that lends to our ability to be creative when it comes to making drinks and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know if you said this on the show or while we were talking, you strongly considered mixology to be an art, which I don't think anyone is going to argue with that. And if you're an artist, you're going to need the right tools and the right, what do you call that thing?
Material?
Not that, but the word is escaping me. But you're going to need the right tools and materials.
Canvas.
There you go. The right canvas. And simple syrup will be one of those tools that you would need.
Right. And that brings us back to the store-bought simple syrup. Now, you say it's frowned upon. Tell me why.
Mainly, so let's look at the ingredients that they have in here. It says pour with pride. Ingredients: sugar, water, sodium bisulfate, potassium sorbate, and sodium meta blah blah blah. I can't pronounce that word.
Yeah, it's funny. You can stop right there because it should really be sugar and water.
But to their credit, the reason that these extra ingredients contain sulfites. I don't know what that is, but a lot of these ingredients are here to preserve the product
so that it can stay on the shelf.
Exactly.
So for an amateur mixologist or amateur, not even, I wouldn't even say a bartender, but for someone who just wants to make drinks quickly, simply, without having to make extra stuff before you make the actual cocktails, this would be something that they would purchase.
Right. Or if you're, on the go. Like, I know we bought this New Year's because I didn't have time to make it, and we were going over to a party where I was going to be making drinks. So it didn't get used that much, which lets you know that, that doesn't speak to the quality of the simple syrup. It speaks to the fact that, people just wanted their alcohol and nothing in between.
That is true.
But I did make drinks with this. It's just that I didn't use enough to, if we still pretty much have a full bottle, as it were. But yeah, they put those ingredients in there to preserve it, and so it'll stay on the shelf longer, so that they can sell it and make money. But you don't even have to do that if you have sugar and water. You can make your own simple syrup, and then from there, when you've perfected it, you can do your own flavors and stuff if you want to explore and everything like that.
So here's a question for you. When you make your own simple syrup, what is the quote-unquote shelf life?
A few weeks.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put that out there, depending on how well you store it, where you store it. They say, and I've learned this from several people that have YouTube channels that are mixologists, but they say, if you want to preserve your syrups, you put like a ounce of vodka in there, and that will help make it last longer. I don't really know if that's true or not, but I don't really know if it's not true.
Sounds interesting. And one of the reasons I think that sounds interesting is, with putting vodka in there, let's say you make your own simple syrup, and you put vodka in it to preserve it. Let's say you want to use that simple syrup to make a particular cocktail that doesn't have vodka in it. Would the vodka from the simple syrup alter the flavor of the drink?
Don't really know, because I've never done that. But they say vodka is tasteless anyway. So that is, like, you put an ounce in there compared to like a full bottle, a full average bottle of simple syrup, you're more than likely not gonna taste the vodka.
Right.
So, unless it's Smirnoff, which tastes like balloons.
That is true. So I see off screen you have another bottle of simple syrup.
I made some simple syrup as an example of what you can do. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why is it so dark? It's because this isn't a regular simple syrup. I made this simple syrup with what type of sugar do we use? Cane sugar. It was
pure
made
cane
with,
sugar.
pure cane sugar, which is ironic because this is made with pure cane sugar, but it's like clear, probably from those sulfites. But yeah, a regular simple syrup is usually like a amber color. It's not gonna be clear like this. It's gonna be tinted. It's like an amber color. This is darker because it's not regular simple syrup. What I did was, and I've probably done this on the show before for a drink. If not, I'm gonna hold on to this because I do have a drink idea with this particular syrup. And it's ironic because we were coming off the last episode. I made this with chai seasoning.
Oh, okay.
To give it like a spicier flavor.
So you have an idea for a cocktail with this. So I'm guessing we're gonna see this cocktail pretty soon on the show.
And not until January is over.
Okay, so February.
Yeah.
Sometime in February.
Sometime in February.
Cool. Anyone watching this, remember this. And if we go through February and you don't see the drink, go into the comments and say, hey, what the hell happened to that drink you were supposed to make with that chai simple syrup?
I won't forget. So I want to talk about something else too, because I think, it's well within the same family, and that's agave nectar or agave syrup. Now, I'm going to put this out here right now. I don't know how to make agave syrup or nectar or whatever like that, so I can't really tell you, what's the best way to get this and stuff like that. But I just get sugar, organic agave in the raw, because it's supposed to be like a healthier alternative. So there you go right there. But you can use this as a sweetener too. Specifically, you would use this for agave forward spirit drinks like margaritas and stuff like that. And that's not to say you can't use regular simple syrup for margaritas, but like an agave syrup is more, I don't want to say on brand or on theme, because it feels like it's cheapening the contributions that an agave syrup gives to a drink. But if you're making a margarita, why not try it with the agave syrup? Right. And you can always use other alternatives like maple syrup. You got some drinks that sweeten you got some cocktails that are sweetened with maple syrup. Maybe regular syrup, I don't know. I think, ironically, that would be nasty compared to the maple syrup.
There are some recipes that do use like syrup, like, I don't want to say Mrs. Butterworth because we don't talk about her anymore. But apparently, but yeah, there are drinks that do that. I mean, you can practically put anything in a cocktail. What about are there other sweeteners?
Depending on the cocktail, you have orgeat.
What is orgeat?
It's basically like an almond syrup, as it were. Okay. And that's another thing. A lot of these, there's another thing we have to put out there. Like, a lot of these variations on syrups and sweeteners and stuff like that are mainly used for like tiki cocktails. So that's and with that genre of cocktail breeds creation. So you're gonna get like your off the wall like raspberry, pineapple, simple syrups or whatever, depending on what the drink requires. But you got orgeat. I hesitate to say falernum because it's an alcohol as well, but it's mainly a sweetener, one that you mainly find in tiki drinks as well.
Do we have falernum?
Yes, we do have falernum. I would go and get it, but I don't want to reach all the way over there and get it. But maybe I'll put a picture up of falernum. There is also grenadine.
Yeah.
And so
grenadine has a lot of different flavors too.
Exactly. You also have, now this one, you'll know this one if you do what do you call those drinks? Pina coladas, but it's the cream of coconut.
So you would count that as a sweetener too? Okay, interesting. Here's a question for you. What about fruit juices?
Fruit juices are... Okay. Do you mean like if I go to the store and get a bottle of juice? Or do you mean like fresh from the actual fruit? Yes. Okay. It depends. Because depending on what kind of cocktail you're making, the sugar or the sweetness from the juice in either direction, in either iteration as it were, can sweeten a cocktail just enough to where you need it. But then you also find a lot of cocktails, they'll have the fruit juices in them and simple syrup as well. Again, look to tiki for that. But also, you know, look to like margaritas and daiquiris and stuff like that. You know, they'll put the fruit juice in there, then they'll put the simple syrup to, you know, pump up that sweetness. Hurricanes, you know, they use like a passion fruit syrup to sweeten their drink while they load you up with rum and all of that stuff. And then, you know, you have some, like, when push comes to shove, you can just sweeten your drink with plain sugar. And you've seen that, if you've ever had a mojito, you've seen that happen. A mojito or Caprahina. Like, they just dump the sugar in there and muddle everything, and then put the rest of the stuff in there, and, you know, it's a drink.
All right. So that sounds like there are a lot of ways to make your drink sweet. I've even seen you use the juice from the cherries.
Yeah.
As a sweetener before. I forgot what you call those cherries. I'm sorry.
Maraschino cherries.
Yeah, the maraschino cherries. I've seen you use the juice from those. Basically, what you're essentially saying is, if you want some sweetness to your drink, there are many different ways to go about that. Unless you're one of those rough, hard drinkers and it's like scotch, no ice.
Yeah.
Or whiskey, no ice.
Well, if you're going into a bar and you're asking for something with no ice, you're gonna say neat.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
But you're just okay.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
And you know, it's fitting that we talked about this. You know, during Dry January, because I do feel like sweeteners are a foundation to making non-alcoholic drinks. You know, you want to do, now you're not gonna make a non-alcoholic version of like whiskey neat. Yeah, you want your whiskey neat like it's a glass.
Can I get a non-alcoholic whiskey neat?
But like, you're not making like a non-alcoholic Sazerac. That's just not happening.
Yeah.
But
I think everything is a Sazerac is alcoholic, isn't it?
yeah. So, I mean, like that. But you know, with the diversity of cocktails that are out there, it's easy to be able to say, well, what if this didn't have alcohol in it? What would that be like? You know, and on the one hand, you can get the kids involved, and they can feel like they're adult, as it were, because they drink their mocktails and everything like that. But also for anybody that just does not drink in general, you know, you have a variety of options now with mocktails outside of water, juice, and Coke. You know, like, let's mix those two let's mix all of those together. You know, make some magic.
Right. Well, this has been a bit of a educational experience. Because you mentioned some stuff I hadn't even heard of, and now I gotta look that stuff up. And with that said, that'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so that you're notified of all content coming to the channel. Also, check us out on Instagram, check us out on Facebook, check us out on Twitter. Also, reshare these videos.
Exactly.
You know, don't hoard them for yourself. Don't watch them for yourself and then not tell anybody else about this magic that we're pumping out. Like, get that magic out there to everybody.
I know everybody out there at least has one non-alcoholic friend, one non-drinker friend. Like, let them know that, you know, we gave you guys some options to go with, so that you don't feel left out.
And even if you just wanted a bit of an education level on simple syrup, there you go. I don't know of anyone on YouTube that has done a video on simple syrups, except for maybe
What's his name?
So How to Drink.
Yeah, How to Drink has done it. Educated Barfly has done it. Anders Ericsson has done it.
Well,
so
damn, we're kind of late to the party. Then.
We're all the way late. You probably shouldn't have threw that out there like you watch every YouTube video ever.
I mean, I scroll through YouTube a lot, and I never see a video come up that says you wanna watch a 10 to 15 minute video on sugar and water. There you go.
Well, they're out there.
I didn't think we didn't do it. I didn't think no one else didn't do it, but at the same time, I didn't think that it was a popular subject to talk about. But if you've watched those videos or haven't, watch this one anyway and share it with everybody else. Mm-hmm. Share it with them so they can tell us we're wrong. Mm-hmm. I just want people to talk to. But anyway, please talk to us how to drink. But anyway, that'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales. Be sure to like and subscribe. February's full, guys. We got a lot coming up in February. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be hitting up a lot of different places.
We gotta make up for all the drinking that we did.
Yeah. We gotta make up for all the drinking that we didn't do.
And a side note, this is episode 195. We're coming up on 200
episode 200. Oh wow!
So
if we time episode 200 correctly, it could be extra special. Mm-hmm. If we time it correctly, mm-hmm. and I think we can. I don't even think we have to miss a week.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
So with that said, episode 200 is coming up. Mm-hmm. So look out for something special. But that'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales, everybody. And until next time, peace.